And we welcome you live to the Mustang Corral here at Edgewood High School, Ellisville, Indiana. It is the boys' game of the boys and girls varsity doubleheader between the Cloverdale Clovers and the Edgewood Mustangs. Glad you could join us for Edgewood Mustang basketball here on Smith Hill Sports. Alongside Jeremy Nutter, I am Nick Jenkinson, and Jeremy, just like the girls with Gary Sims returning, the boys have a new coach with Matt Wadsworth coming over from Whiteland to replace J.B. Neal, who went to Bloomfield.
Yeah, and you always wonder with the new coach. I remember a coaching change that I experienced in high school, and that's just something, you kind of come in, you're kind of like, how's it going to be, what's it going to be like. Luckily for me, it was an assistant coach moving up. But yeah, when a completely new coach comes in, it's just a whole different environment because, there's not that kind of same rapport that you've had before. You don't kind of know them. You kind of have to get to know them while you're getting coached, and everything's kind of going on all at once. So it's kind of a lot. It can be good, it can be bad, but, I guess we'll see here tonight.
So Matt Wadsworth, 78 and 82 in 7 years at Whiteland from 2012 to 2019, 2 winning seasons. But he's been around, he's coached it. He was at Riverton Park, 8 and 15 in 2007, 2008. Then he went to North Posey, 55 and 31 in 4 years from 2008 to 2012, 2 winning seasons and 1 500 season down there. His best year was 18 and 3 in 2009, 2010. One thing he wants to come to Edgewood, he wants to win a sectional championship. He hasn't done that in his career yet.
A sophomore, number 32, Kyle Thomas.
As Cloverdale getting introduced. Kyle Thomas, 6'3" sophomore. He had 30 points against Terre Haute South. Mark Gill in the middle, 6'3" junior.
Number 22,
Chase
Ashcraft,
6'2" junior for the
guard,
Clovers.
Sophomore, number 14, Brady Kuzman.
Brady Kuzman, 6' sophomore, number 14.
Number 10, Nolan
And then
Kelly.
Nolan Kelly, 6' sophomore.
By Mr. Patrick Brady.
For Patrick Brady, 71 and 37 in his 5th year, 112 and 107 in 10 years overall. 3 winning seasons and 3 sectional titles at Cloverdale. As you see, Chase Utley, number 2, 6' sophomore. Sam Keto, 5'6" senior. His brother Joe, the point guard last year,
remember him.
Very good. Derek Farkas, 14, 6' senior. There is Parker Harrington, 6'4" senior. He returns after 1 year away from basketball, and now Coleman Sater, 6'4" junior. Now the leading scorer from a season ago, returning scorer with Trevor Taylor indefinitely suspended from the team. It is now Coleman Sater that returns as the leading scorer. Matt Wadsworth, of course, we just mentioned, 1-1 so far here at Edgewood, 142, 129 in 13 years overall. A North Davies graduate, so, familiar with Southern Indiana. And of course, he was familiar with Edgewood because Whiteland and Indian Creek, he always got film on Indian, so he saw Edgewood a lot on film. So he was attracted to this job, and he's going to put his stamp on this program.
Yeah, we'll see here definitely. As you know, the sore thumb on the floor is definitely Keto back there. It's something you don't normally see, but if you know his brother at all, you know that he is definitely lethal and he's definitely dynamic.
Yeah, the Ketos are also really top-notch baseball players. Edgewood state runner-ups in 3A in baseball in the spring, losing to Andran. You got Coleman Sater was also a part of that team with Sam Keto, and brother Joe, he's going to walk on to Indiana State to play baseball. So Edgewood with it. Parker Harrington.
And we're seeing some good man-to-man defense being played here right away. But then also, it's good resilience by Edgewood just to have that time just to be able to pull it out, reset and go back.
Chase Utley's going to fire it. It is in and out. Good blocks out by Kyle Thomas, and he has the rebound for the Clovers. Nolan Kelly's going to fire a three. It is no good, and then it's going to be a foul on Mark Gill for Cloverdale.
Personal foul, number 31, Gill.
And we're looking at a full court press here from Cloverdale. Again.
I see one of the, speaking of the seniors that we lost, Tate Balcom just is entering the building. He was one of the key cogs last year, the grandson of the late Terry Hepner. There was a big article after the season on him. He also lost his mom a few years ago in a tragic car accident. But Balcom was the
Basket by Gill.
where you talk about leaders, he was the emotional leader last year of this Edgewood team as Mark Gill gets Cloverdale on the board.
And you definitely want to have that on every team. You want to have somebody who definitely can have the heartbeat of the team kind of and control that, because as a coach, you know, you look for that person because they kind of control kind of how the team relates to you necessarily. And you definitely want to get someone like that in the locker room that you can communicate with, and then also at the same time they can communicate with the team well.
So Edgewood has it out of bounds, trailing 2-0. Cloverdale sticking with the pressure. There is Sam Keto with it. He also did not play a season ago, so Coach Wadsworth gets two guys back that took the year off last year, so he adds pieces to this puzzle.
Exactly, and you definitely seeing a difference than the last game, almost flip. If we remember the girls' game last game, now Cloverdale is doing a full court press, but Edgewood is staying back and letting them come to them, you know, and that's going to be interesting to see how that works over time. Who gets tired, because they are really flying out there right now. So, you know, eventually someone's going to get tired, and that's just going to be interesting to see who gets tired first.
Kyle Thomas, a lot of contact, no call. There's Sam Keto. It gets deflected and into the hands of Cloverdale. There is Nolan Kelly for Cloverdale.
And you just see man-to-man. This looks like a lot of plays will be run this game, because so far there's been a lot of resets, a lot of top-of-the-key kind of stuff.
That was out of control by Nolan Kelly, and that is out of bounds Edgewood ball. Definitely a slower pace to this start for this game than we saw in the girls' game.
Yeah, and that comes down to the defensive presence that is put on display here by Edgewood. Completely different. Cloverdale is a lot more pressing.
Parker Harrington's three, no good. Thomas with the rebound.
But yeah, there's definitely a quick pace. It's just no one's really hitting their shot. But also this man defense both teams have been playing has been really, really good. Really tight. Not too much necessarily, except right here.
There is Brady Kuzman with his first points of the game. It's a 4-0 lead, and here comes that press from Cloverdale. Farkas in the corner, it's in and out. Rebound to Ashcraft. Edgewood still looking to get on the board. There's Thomas, and Parker Harrington gets the big block.
That's a confidence builder for sure. That's a confidence builder for sure, because, you know, you get something like that, you get a shot like that, and you know, you just, and it's not a foul, it's nothing crazy. You kind of get like, all right, well, we can get these guys on defense. We can control this game, because definitely, for sure, you're going to see a lot of set plays, I feel like, because they're going to be at the top of the key. They're going to be resetting the whole game, mostly, until there's an opening in the play, and then they may be a back and forth for a little bit. But I'm thinking they're going to be pretty set this game. A lot of man-to-man.
As you see the Edgewood huddle with Coach Wadsworth. He was hired, he was officially named in July 15th. He met with the players and parents the week before on July the 8th. So he really he didn't even get the chance this summer to really work with the team, because in June you get the month of June to really do summer workouts and stuff, and then you of course get to do the open gyms and stuff. So he came in kind of late in the game this summer, but as it's going to be an offensive foul on Cloverdale.
Personal foul, number 22, Ashcraft.
On Ashcraft, but he came in late to the game after J.B. Neal took the Bloomfield job, but he has, again, had his time to implement his system, as that's stolen, and then Sam Keto is going to get called for the reach-in.
But look, absolutely opposite of the last game. I mean, last game you saw Edgewood. You just saw them relentlessly pursuing every single ball. This game, it's complete opposite. Now you see Cloverdale pursuing every single ball. And again, even though you're running a lot, the other team's tired because they're chasing ghosts.
So there is a foul on Jace Utley.
Gill will shoot 2.
We're going to see Mark Gill at the line, 6'3" junior.
That was like when a flat shot like that goes in.
He gets the free throw, his third point of the night. And he misses, and Coleman Sater with the rebound.
You see him get down there so quick, but Cloverdale's in front of him, and that does not allow them to really get in there and get a fast break basket. Instead, they have to come out, reset, do some plays, go around. They're kind of in a 5 out, and now they're in a 4 out, 1 in, with a big man inside. And
Parker.
So they're kind of taking each other's places.
There is Coleman Sater inside, and he gets fouled and will go to the line.
Yeah, I'm just. It seems like Edgewood is just not able to get down the floor quick enough to combat that Cloverdale defense. Cloverdale's definitely having the opportunity to set the tempo. They're setting the tempo so far this game, on defense especially.
Coleman Sater, a season ago, as we're going to see treble substitutions. But Coleman Sater, a season ago, 11.3 points a game and 6 rebounds a game as a sophomore. And he misses both. Was shooting 66% coming into the night from the field, averaging 8 points a game for the Mustangs through 2 games.
And if I didn't say it enough, very defensive game. I mean, 5 points. I was waiting for a second. Yep.
Thomas with the miss. Trey Dickinson with the rebound and gets fouled.
Yeah, but you look at that, 5 points. It's been 5 minutes in the game. Not much scoring going to be on tonight. I'm pretty sure it may be, it could be season low scoring for both teams if it keeps going like this.
Trey Dickinson at the line for the Clovers, 5'10" senior. But a guy that can come in and bang bodies around.
Exactly.
Sater with the rebound. Gives it to Logan Slayball, who wears 24. That is blocked by the Clovers.
And
3 minutes to go in the first quarter, and Edgewood still scoreless.
And again, it comes all the way back to that intensity on defense. Edgewood just cannot do this.
There's a nice give and go. Thomas gets stripped, gets it back, and you see Sam Keto, he puts up a shot right in front of Sam Keto's face and hits it. 9-0 lead. He had Sam Keto draped all over him, and he was able to get that fadeaway in the corner.
And that's where that high difference definitely comes in, because sure, and there we go. Absolutely opposite of the last game so far, in my opinion. Absolute opposite. I mean, Edgewood's literally playing a zone and a trap, and Cloverdale's playing a high-intensity, flowing defense. And so you're seeing an exact difference. The only thing is that, the man defense that Edgewood's going into is a little better than the last game.
Nick Jones and Slayball held ball. It'll go with the Clovers.
Mustangs, number 13.
Cam Curtis is going to check in wearing number 13 for Parker Harrington. 9-0 lead, 2 minutes to go here in quarter number 1. There is Kuzman.
And they're always looking to shoot. Every time they're looking at the basket. They're not looking for the next pass all the time. They're looking to shoot.
And there is Sam Keto with the theft. Gets it to Sater. Into open, Curtis, no good. Edgewood still looking for their first points of the game.
Those are the points you need to make. Those are the points you need to make.
And Curtis was wide open. Couldn't get that shot to fall. Kyle Thomas, kind of do it all for Cloverdale. There is a 3 for Nolan Kelly. 12-0 lead for the Clovers.
As you see, you just hear the coaches screaming to close out to the ball, close out to the ball. They just said it a few times there. And I mean, that's what's going to get you.
Basket by Sater.
Edgewood finally on the board after Slayball missed the 3. Coleman Sater gets the first 2. Now Thomas being guarded by Sater. He's going to throw it up, and it's good for Kyle Thomas.
Very good shot selection. Very good shot selection. I mean, it was very good because at the top of the key he had a choice to go either way, and he just chooses one way and able to cut inside and get the point.
Curtis puts up a 3, a lot of contact, no call. And now Patrick Grady telling Kyle Thomas 1. And that's an offensive foul on Thomas, as guess who got that charge? Sam Keto. Just like his older brother, just like Big Brother.
That's one thing he definitely has an advantage on, is that small frame. That small frame, that's for sure. But again, I mean, this is almost the opposite scoreline of the last game. This is literally a mirror image. I mean, for goodness sakes, this is incredible to watch. Just the total opposite play of both teams. And scoreline,
Slayball going to try to fire it from the wing, no good. And that will do it for the first quarter. Cloverdale leads Edgewood 14-2 on Smithville Sports.
Smithville Media has produced stunning and engaging features and documentaries for over a decade. Local interest stories, interviews, commercials and event coverage are all part of what we do. Let us showcase your business or create a commercial for your promotions. We can even play your pieces during our live sports broadcasts. For details, speak with a Smithville representative or email media@smithville.com.
As we welcome you back to the Mustang Corral here at Edgewood High School, Cloverdale leads Edgewood 14-2 as you see the Mustang huddle with new coach Matt Wadsworth trying to get his team back into this game after a rough first quarter. Glad you could join us for Edgewood Mustang basketball. A reminder, we're back here tomorrow night for another boys and girls doubleheader. North Putnam will be in town. They are playing South Putnam tonight. They are 1-0 coming in to tonight's game, and they will be here tomorrow. This is the last year of the crossover division, and Coach Gary Sims for the girls did tell me next year every school will play each other. Of course, Edgewood plays all the girls teams play every school to begin with. They just added North Putnam back this year, so next year it goes to you play every school in the conference instead of the crossover format. So you will be seeing all these teams next season getting ready for that.
Let's see what Edgewood does here.
Farkas gets blocked by Thomas. It'll be Edgewood ball out of bounds. You just wondered what happened. Well, there's a big block from Kyle Thomas. And I'm looking at Kyle Thomas, and he reminds me of a guy that played for Cloverdale just a few years ago, Cooper Neese, who was a really good player for the Clovers an Indiana All-Star, started at Butler, now is at Indiana State. As Gill missed it. And it's Cloverdale ball.
And you know, something I'm noticing right now is the difference in coaching. Cloverdale, you know, you see Coach Rady kind of getting loud over there, yelling, standing up. But you know, Coach Wadsworth is just kind of pacing back and forth, kind of quietly. It's really interesting. He's like watching the game, giving his points on the timeouts. So,
as Brady Kuzman gets his 4th point of the night, it's a 16-2 lead for Cloverdale.
No yelling at all. Nothing. No instructions being said right now. Very interesting.
Derek Farkas gets the rebound and putback. And it's now 16-4 Edgewood or Cloverdale. That's an offensive foul on Cloverdale.
Personal foul.
That's going to be on Gill, his 2nd.
Substitutions for the Mustangs, number 5, Slater. For the Clovers, number 40, Dickinson.
Trey Dickinson back in the game for Cloverdale.
And look at this. Look at this. What is it? It's a press.
Full court press. Zeke Powell brings it across for Edgewood. Derek Farkas has it. Parker Harrington. He brings that stretch the floor dimension for Edgewood. There's Jace Utley going to the hole, no good.
And Cloverdale is just winning every.
And they're going to say Nick Jones was out of bounds with the ball when he came down with the ball, so it'll be Edgewood ball.
But you know, if you're Cloverdale and you're hearing that, you don't care because you know he went after the ball. He got the ball out of bounds, and that's more important than this kind of possession. Because you know, characteristically, Edgewood's going to have a really hard time scoring or getting anything out of it.
There is Powell. He misses that one.
And look who got the rebound is going down the court.
Kyle Thomas out of control, but they're going to say foul on Edgewood. So a foul on Edgewood.
Personal foul, number 2, Utley.
That is the 2nd on Utley, and the team's 4th. Dickinson gets it to Kelly. 3 seconds in the lane on Cloverdale, and it's Edgewood ball. You don't always see that call a lot in the high school. You don't see it at a lot of levels.
You don't see it called at all, really. I mean, that's almost like
it's a rare call.
It's almost like a travel call in the NBA.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
that's
as frequent
few and
as it
far
is.
between, yeah. Coleman Sater to the bucket.
Basket by Sater.
If anybody knows what LeBron James did the other night, they'll know what I mean.
Yeah, I saw that video, and I can't believe they missed that completely.
The person guarding him freaked out.
And it's a turnover, and it's Edgewood ball.
There's some intense defense there by Edgewood, something different. But again, it's on a set play. Here you see Cloverdale pushing the whole floor. Edgewood just has that set play that they're getting them on. But with Cloverdale, they're all over him all the time.
Basket by Farkas.
Farkas in the lane. It's a 6-2 run for Edgewood in this quarter. Lead is now cut to 8 as Farkas has 4. Kyle Thomas in the lane, and he gets it to go. He's got 7. Powell. Parker Harrington. Nice take by Parker Harrington to the basket. Edgewood starting to crawl back into this game.
And exactly, that's what I'm kind of looking at and kind of seeing is that Edgewood's intensity is kind of building up. Sure, they're playing on a set. They're not necessarily doing a full court or kind of a flowing offense. But at the same time, there's a lot of physicality being played between both these teams.
Trey
Again,
Dickinson shot no
with the double
good.
stuff going up.
There is Chase Utley one-on-one with Thomas. Misses it. Sater put back and one. And now you see some emotion from Coach Wadsworth.
Exactly.
Happy that Coleman Sater.
You get a clap and a good boy,
Kuzman, Sater shoots free throw.
Kuzman with the foul.
Replacing Dickinson.
Gill is back in, and Dickinson goes out.
This is interesting because Edgewood's kind of grown into the game and kind of the way they're playing. They're not necessarily changing the way that they play, but the intensity has increased as the game progressed. They're not playing as lackadaisical as they initially played and started.
It is a full timeout.
And now Coach Rady wants a full timeout as Edgewood trails 18-13. Edgewood's crawling right back into this game. Coleman Sater now with 7 points. Derek Farkas with 4. Parker Harrington with 2.
And again with that putback. Absolutely.
As you see the nice replay there as Coleman Sater with the putback. Coleman Sater, as big as he is for 6'4", he's a big kid but plays like a guard.
Exactly,
He just goes full speed all the time.
And that's what you're seeing too, even in the higher tiers of basketball. You're seeing the taller guys. I mean, for instance, think of Giannis and think of how important that is to be able to be tall and be athletic and still be able to carry the ball and be tall and stuff. And so it's a very important thing to be able to be good at ball handling. Just like in every sport now, it's just important to be good at every facet of the game as much as you can be. Because you never know what you're going to do. Centers take threes now. That's weird. That's a recent occurrence. Power forwards are more like point guards. Just weird things like that.
So we're down. So just under 4.5 to go here at quarter number 2. Stay tuned. We'll have a great halftime feature for you. Now it's Powell getting the assignment of guarding Kyle Thomas.
Now, how is Cloverdale going to respond to this resurgence in Edgewood's play?
They're passing around. They're going to fire the 3, and that's how they respond with Nolan Kelly's second 3 of the game.
That's quite a response, too, because you're able to, you come back in after a timeout, coach tells you something, and then you go, is this going to work? Is this going to play? And then you hit that 3 right after, confidence booster, your confidence booster. You feel good.
Parker Harrington, a 3, and it's good.
Talking about big people making shots outside just a minute ago, have somebody like Parker Harrington making a shot outside.
Parker Harrington missed the Bloomington South game. He didn't have enough practices. He decided to rejoin the basketball team at the last minute. You have to have 10 practices before the first game, and he had not had the required amount. So he was on the bench but not playing against Bloomington South. So he got back in there against Martinsville, and he's starting to feel more comfortable now.
I remember I did that my senior year. I played lacrosse at the very end of the year, and I joined after the season had begun. So there's that practice rule applied. And I just, whenever you see that, I can imagine in that first game, you just want to get out there and play so bad because, you see everybody else having so much fun.
They're going to call Farkas for that foul.
And that's what's going to happen if both these teams play physical and stuff. You're going to see calls like that where, who really knows how high or whose foul it was. The ref has to call it there and then. They're not going to get another chance. But if you play physical, it's going to be like that.
A lot of contact inside. Ashcraft gets fouled by Farkas and will go to the line.
And you see a lucky deflection there. Gets opportunity for a free throw.
Personal foul, number 14, Farkas. Ashcraft to shoot 2.
Chase Ashcraft, a 6'2 junior, yet to score tonight. And he misses the free throw.
And he was not happy about that miss. Not happy at all.
For the Mustangs, number 24.
Again, free throws are free points. You know, it's something you need to practice, something that's important to look at.
There is Ashcraft's second one. So 22-16 lead. Here comes Edgewood, Utley, Harrington. Gets the friendly bounce.
Harrington.
Second three of the night for Parker Harrington, and this lead is cut to 3.
And then again, before you even blink, you see Cloverdale all the way down the floor, already trying to create a time to score, you know, a chance.
Parker Harrington
Foul,
commits
40,
the foul.
Harrington. Thomas shooting 1-1.
It's going to send Kyle Thomas to the line as Patrick Rady wants another timeout here with 2:34 to go. Patrick Rady is the son of legendary coach Pat Rady.
30-second timeout.
The dad coached it for 51 years, won 751 games, 5th all-time in Indiana. Coached at several schools, Bainbridge, Winchester, Southmont, Shelbyville, Terre Haute South, and then Cloverdale. And then Patrick Rady, who you see, took over for his dad a couple years ago. Last year, Cloverdale struggled 10-14. They lost to Monrovia 64-31, the Class 2A sectional. Averaged 51 a game, defensively gave up 55.8. Their first game of the year was at Terre Haute South, lost 69-45. The court at Terre Haute South is named in honor of Pat Rady, so that's always an emotional game for Patrick, obviously, getting to coach on the court, and obviously was a longtime assistant for his dad. So get to coach on the court that is named after your father.
That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool thing.
That is a very cool thing as Thomas hits that free throw. He's had some good players the last couple of years. I mentioned Cooper Neese, the Indiana All-Star in 2017, started at Butler, plays for Indiana State, and then Jalen Moore was another really good guard who's now in his sophomore season at Olney Central Junior College in Illinois. So they have so Kyle Thomas could be that next big player for the Clovers.
And you see that Cloverdale took off the big man, and now they put in a lot of athletic people to try to do a very dynamic full court defense and fast-paced play.
Cloverdale, as that's a 3 for Kelly, and he nails it.
And on that, you saw two people get trapped on that press because two people got caught too close to the ball, and just an easy give and go.
And there's a nice pass for Slayball to Parker Harrington.
And another friendly bounce.
Parker Harrington in double figures now with 10 points. First game in double figures for Parker this season. Just his second game. And then a bad turnover as Kyle Thomas steals it. Nick Jones, too strong. Zeke Powell, they got numbers up ahead. Slayball. Ashcraft blocks him. Kelly gonna fire another 3, and he nailed it.
He's in the groove,
and
that's for sure.
He's kind of channeling the Shelby Anderson for the Edgewood girls.
Exactly.
His 4-3 of the night.
Way too easy on defense there, letting people go right past you. You saw the defender turn his body and just open up that lane, and then everybody drove past after.
Look at this, Kyle Thomas, and he just nails it.
Oh my goodness gracious, that's something special. That's something special right there. You got to feel good after that.
Chase Utley gets fouled.
Wow. What a three-pointer.
He was way out there, and he just let it go, and it was perfect.
Another zip code almost.
Jace Utley at the line for the Mustangs.
Mercy. That's quite the shot.
9 points a game so far, 18 points in 2 games for the Mustangs. He had 10 points at Bloomington South in that brutal loss. Bloomington South ranked second in Class 4A, got 2 Division I, actually 3 Division I's if you count James Bombo, who's going to go play football for Miami of Ohio. But you got Anthony Leal coming to IU and Noah Jager going to Army. But Utley misses both of those free throws.
And again, Edgewood just hard to make 3 free throws for both the girls and the boys tonight.
Now Powell is right in the face of Thomas. He's going to take it to the bucket and he's going to score.
Basket by Thomas.
I mean, now you know, it's like Bo Jackson. You heard the folk tales, but now you see Kyle Thomas in action. You know, you're able to hear about him, but now you're able to see him. And he tried to replicate that shot that Kyle Thomas did. Try to answer it, not able to.
And that's the miss for Kelly. Ashcraft got the bounce
Basket by Thomas.
at the buzzer. So as we look at the highlights, it is Kyle Thomas's show. Look at it, fadeaway 3 over Sam Keto in the corner. And then it's Nolan Kelly, 4 threes in the first half.
Assist by Thomas.
And then Thomas with the block. There's Coleman Sater getting the bucket inside. Jace Utley going to work. Coleman Sater cleans it up. Then Parker Harrington, step back, nails it. And then, is this, yeah, look at this. Kyle Thomas
from the logo.
From the volleyball line.
That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Such a good shot.
As we're at halftime, Cloverdale leads 37-23 over Edgewood on Smithfield Sports.
Hi, I'm Christy McBride, Director of Hoosier Hills Career Center. So part of what we do here at the Career Center is to make sure that we are preparing students for college, careers, and beyond. Our goal is to make sure that those students that come into our center have marketable, transferable skills that they can use in a variety of locations, or to at least give them those entry-level skills where they can keep climbing up the ladder and learning more. So Hoosier Hills Career Center offers opportunities for any student. Typically we have juniors and seniors that come to our program, but because we're physically attached to Bloomington North High School, we have freshmen and sophomores who come. We are seated in Monroe County, but we service Owen County, Morgan County, and Greene County. We have 5 different school districts that allow us to serve 9 different schools. So we have quite a broad spectrum of folks that we can serve here at the Career Center. We offer close to 200 dual credits completely free of charge to our students. So students can come out with a technical certificate, or if they're really hardworking and they combine their technical skill dual credits and their academic dual credits, they actually can get to an associate's degree. Last spring, we were awarded a grant that is through the Department of Workforce Development called the Skill Up 3 grant. And that allowed for us to bring the Emergency Medical Services program to Hoosier Hills Career Center. Super excited about that program, not just with the dual credits that are offered, but we've had numerous students ask about what's next. They may take a health science class and say, well, I really want to go and do something what about on the ambulance? I want to work on the ambulance, or I want to work in the ER. So it really made sense to listen to the students and say, what's next?
My name is Mike Hendricks, and I'm an instructor here at Hoosier Hills Career Center, and I teach the EMT program. I started in 1983 as a first responder, and also became a CPR instructor in 1983. Have been continuously certified as a CPR instructor, and I've also been an EMS continuously since then. Been an EMT and then an advanced EMT. So the EMT course is approximately 160 didactic hours, meaning lecture type hours. This class runs for the entire school year. And by the time we have all of the sending schools come in, get settled, and then by the time they have to leave early to catch their buses, we get about 2.5 hours of quality education time in. So I try to make this training as realistic as I can, knowing that high school students don't have a lot of background to draw from. So we teach in teams. I make the students responsible to each other. A lot of the homework is taught in a team concept where they have to work together. We practice as a team, and we are responsible to each other for our actions or inactions. Because in EMS, we have to work together as a team. If we don't, then our care suffers and the patient suffers. So everything is based on cooperation and respect, as well as a hierarchy of leadership. So we also use a student team leader. So we learn a chain of command in this class as well. We have students who come in from the fire science program. I have students coming in from the medical technology class. And then I have students who come in with no other background whatsoever. When they leave the program, I have students who will go to college and use this for allied health, such as respiratory therapy. I have students who will go into nursing. I've had students go into the military and use the program there. And I've had students go straight into employment, working at a fire department or an ambulance service. And I'm proud to say that I have 2 students right now working together in Martinsville on an ambulance. So the students do get to graduate and go into real-world experience. So it's mostly high school seniors, and because of the age requirement, we want students to be able to test and get certified by the end of the school year. So in other words, we want students who will be 18 by the end of May. So the aspects of the training are, this is a fully credentialed National Registry EMT program. That curriculum is regulated by the Department of Transportation, and it's administered by the Department of Homeland Security. So we meet all the requirements through Indiana, through Department of Homeland Security, and then as required by National Registry. So the students will earn their National Registry certification first, then they can transfer that to a state of Indiana certification. The testing is in 2 parts. One is there's a skills or hands-on portion that involves 13 different skill stations.
The nature of the testing is very different than sitting down at a computer and answering questions or writing an essay. This is, how do you perform with a person strapped on a backboard or taking them from one position on the ground to a sitting position. It is just a very different type of testing environment.
The second part is there's a written test that's on a computer, and the computer is predictive in its analysis of whether a student or candidate will pass. And within the first 12 questions, that National Registry exam will know if you're going to pass or not. And it can take you from 70 to approximately 120 questions.
Mr. Hendricks, our teacher, just cares a whole lot about every single student. He wants everybody to pass. So he'll do anything he can to help.
The advantage of taking the training here in a career center setting is the students or the candidates are getting the training now while they're young, and so potential employers such as the fire department are not having to pay for that training. These students graduate with their credentials, so they're already employable. They're ready to work. EMTs their skill sets are becoming more and more valuable as the population increases and as the need for more physicians and more healthcare workers increases. EMTs will be utilized more and more. There is a definite high demand.
We've actually had folks from Indianapolis. The Indianapolis EMT outreach coordinator came down and shared with our students and was trying to recruit them because the need is across the state.
I would highly recommend this course, especially in this setting, because it is a college level course. The students get 7.5 hours of college credit through Ivy Tech. Those transfer across the state. So if a student wants to go into nursing, if they want to go into allied health, they've got an excellent start to a college education program. I've had students who've told me, They love coming to class every day because it's like Christmas every day. I'm always opening some new box, and they're getting to see something new or experience something new, and every day's different.
More folks are trying to figure out what they can actually do to help others, which is heartwarming. You know, that's what we want to see. We want to grow that compassion, and these students absolutely want to do those things to serve. The ability for us to offer our students and folks from the community the stair-stepping ability to just keep going up that ladder and getting more training and going further with what you want to do for your profession, you know, that's really what it's all about.
As we welcome you back to the Mustang Corral here at Edgewood High School, Cloverdale leads Edgewood 37-23 here on Smithfield Sports. Glad you could join us for Edgewood Mustang basketball alongside Jeremy Nutter. I am Nick Jenkinson, and Jeremy, it was all Cloverdale in that first half. Kyle Thomas leading the way with 14 and Nolan Kelly 12. All 12 of Nolan Kelly's points, three-pointers.
Yeah, I mean, you just see Kyle Thomas, I can't even say his name. You just see Kyle Thomas out there. He's owning Edgewood wherever he has that ball. He's made threes from outside the arc. He's made inside shots. He's had blocks. I mean, he is really doing good tonight. I mean, I've seen a lot of good performances. This is definitely up there. This is an excellent performance by Kyle Thomas.
For Edgewood, it's Parker Harrington leading the way with 10 points. He got kind of off to a slow start again. Just his second game, he had to miss the Bloomington South game because he didn't have enough practices. But he started, once he got comfortable, he's able to get going. Coleman Sater with 7 points, but Edgewood's got to do a better job at the rebounds.
And that seems to be the theme, is that Edgewood just kind of took a while to get going. They just were not really going too fast at the beginning, and then eventually they got there. It just took a while. And so, like, I think that this half, it could be the same way, where Edgewood, you know, has that break and then may delay a little bit, or they may come out swinging. I mean, who knows? But it definitely was a slow start from Edgewood, but yeah, everybody's contributing, everybody's shooting threes, everybody's getting up on their man defensively now, which is really good to see. So complete from Edgewood for sure towards the end of that last half.
Edgewood got it within 3, but then Kyle Thomas hit a monster three-pointer from kind of like Steph Curry range.
I was gonna say something about Steph Curry whenever he made it, and I couldn't think anything smart, so I didn't open my mouth. But yeah, Steph Curry came to mind because he just, you know, he was at the logo, he just kind of was chilling. Or LaMelo Ball. It reminds me kind of that shot that made LaMelo Ball really viral whenever he shot that, shooting those deep threes. But yeah, and you know, he's not their point guard. Kyle Thomas, body-wise, he's not the smallest guy. He's not necessarily the guy that's going to be able to maybe classically run an offense.
As Nolan Kelly takes it to the bucket and he gets fouled by Parker Harrington. That's Parker's second foul. So Nolan Kelly at the line, 14 points in the first half, all threes. Misses that free throw.
Yeah, and it was really him and Thomas really making this team churn. I mean, you look up at the scoreboard and it was mostly them doing the work, which isn't a bad thing at all. It's actually really exciting and dynamic to watch because up at the top of the arc, they're really active.
There is Jace Utley, Parker Harrington to Utley, inside, and he is fouled and will go to the line. One thing to note is, since 1994, Edgewood leads this series 19-3, and Edgewood has won 5 straight. Last time Cloverdale won January 13th, 2015, 82-65, and that was at Cloverdale.
And this is where, unfortunately, you miss somebody like Trevor Taylor for sure. You definitely miss somebody like that, who's able to be definitely the best player on the floor whenever he wants to be, and somebody that could answer Kyle Thomas.
Cloverdale looking to win for the first time here in Edgewood since February 15, 2005 when they won 55-53. Trevor Taylor suspended indefinitely from the team, 19 points a game last year as Kyle Thomas gets another friendly bounce and gives a seal of approval to the Cloverdale bench.
And I was on the line for that. He shot basically directly from me, in between me and the basket, so I was able to see that whole way going in, and it looked good the whole way. It was very good shot.
Farkas to shoot 2.
Dickinson with the foul. Derek Farkas at the line. He had a big game last week against Martinsville. He and Parker Harrington were on the Edgewood football team this year that had a great season that ended in the sectional semifinals with a loss at Princeton.
And that's where you get those points that really matter, that can really change the game in that free throw area. I know the last game and then the first half of this game, as a contested three-pointer.
His 5th 3 of the night, and this lead is at 18.
The Splash Brothers, Kyle Thomas and you got quite the duo right there.
That is absolutely quite the duo for Cloverdale.
Yeah, how does how does Thomas and Kelly sound? Thomas and Kelly duo, Splash Brothers sound.
Edgewood's going to call a 30-second timeout. Well, while we have a minute, we just want to thank our crew, the hardworking women and men behind the scenes. We've got Annette Bruner, Noah Baraja, Sam Malloy on the cameras, Nate Alarcon on replays, Rob Ramsey, our technical director, you and I doing commentary. Of course, Quinn Saturday will be back tomorrow with me to do the North Putnam Edgewood game. So we thank them for all their hard work they do throughout the season, both football and basketball, and we've got a lot of basketball still left to come.
Basketball isn't too bad. It's inside. It's not cold. It's not cold like some of the football games, that's for sure. Makes you like air conditioning a little bit,
Yeah. At least the good thing with basketball being indoors, you don't have to worry about any postponements unless there's just too much snow on the ground.
Exactly.
Or school's called off. Parker Harrington inside, no good. Dickinson with the rebound.
Mishandle on that inbound. Now Kyle Thomas, what is he going to do?
And he puts up a shot and gets another friendly bounce.
Passed by Thomas.
I wonder how much he paid that rim for all the shots he's going in so far. He's had some crazy bounces here the last couple shots he's had.
And he's only a sophomore, so he's just a sophomore. So you got 2 more years of this, of the makings of a.
And the most important part of that is that he's only going to get better and bigger and stronger. So right now, I just saw a picture recently. I was scrolling through Instagram. I saw a picture of Giannis the year he entered the league. Looked like a string bean. Now he looks like a tank. That could be the same way Kyle Thomas goes through his high school seasons.
Yeah, skill development is just in getting in the weight room and doing the things that you need to do, taking care of yourself, taking care of your body. It's just everything that's necessary to make you bigger and better, and
especially if you see a future for yourself in the sport, because that definitely helps with as Kelly and Thomas collide a little bit there.
And you can tell he's now directing traffic, but he's going to get a 5-second call against him. Patrick Grady not happy with that, but he got a 5-second call.
Another not normal call, I wouldn't say.
No,
not normally a call. Those violations are not normally, I would say, you just see a ref moving his hand, and you're just kind of saying to yourself, what's that for? Because no one ever calls it.
Sam Keto gets it to Derek Farkas. He puts it up and gets that to go. He's got 8. But again, this lead is 18 for the Clovers, and now Edgewood's going to put the pressure on. Ashcraft, too strong. And they're going to get Dickinson over the back. As that's his second.
40, Dickinson.
And his coach, Coach Brady, was yelling 2. I don't know what play that is, but he is screaming 2.
His assistant coach also up on the up off the bench as well.
I'm assuming 2 is a zone and 1 is man because they're in a 2-3 zone right now.
Keto gets it out to Farkas, and as you see, they're attacking the ball every time it moves.
And you have to, especially because you get sucked in like you just saw there in the zone. Thomas, or not Thomas, sorry.
A lot of contact between Sater and Dickinson, and Sater can't get it to go, no call. Powell's got a hand in Thomas's face.
It's just going to be interesting to see if Kelly and Thomas, how they, if they share the ball a little more, as there was, a walk there. As we hear people yelling around us and stuff, move the ball a little bit. Maybe Kelly and Thomas, they could, a few more passing plays, a few more things like that. And not involving the team more, but just, getting the heat off of them a little more.
Just under 4.5 to go here in quarter number 3.
And again, they're in that 2-3 zone.
Sater, a lot of contact, gets fouled and will go to the line.
And Dickinson's been kind of clumsy since coming on the floor. Two fouls, over the back and a foul as he's now coach is bringing in someone else, and he's going to be taken out here in a second.
Yeah, Mark Gill's going to come in to replace Dickinson. But Edgewood really struggling here at the free throw line.
Again, that's something that you can practice, free throws. That's not something that is only reserved for James Harden or LeBron James. Anybody can practice free throws.
Sater gets that one to go. It's 15. And Thomas, they're going to call the foul on
A late foul call.
Personal foul number 12, Keto.
I think they're confused on whether it's a shot. All right. They were confused on whether it was a shot or on the floor.
Well, Thomas sold it because he got the free throws, and he gets that one to go. And now we're going to see Logan Slayball back in, replacing Sam Keto. So another one for Kyle Thomas, and he gets that one to go. And it is 48-29.
In the zone again. Let's see what happens. This is where cutting really doesn't make a difference because no one cares if somebody cuts through because they're not going to be able to.
And Edgewood, there's Logan Slayball with the drive to the basket.
And of course, as I say that, a cut scores.
Lead cut to 17, but Edgewood doesn't seem to be really in a hurry to really try to.
No, defensively, they're really not showing. Offensively, yes, they're shooting, but defensively.
As Kelly misses it, Parker Harrington. You can tell Parker Harrington now he's going to start. You can see the frustration on Parker Harrington's face.
He looks really frustrated. He does not look happy. He's looking up at the scoreboard and he's saying 17 points and in 11 minutes. That's a big hill to climb.
Powell with the 3 top the key, no good. And then Farkas pickpockets Kyle Thomas.
Almost lucky. He was going in there for the rebound.
And then volleyball deflects it away. Sater, that's going to be before the foul.
The big men for Cloverdale are just not doing too hot tonight.
Personal foul.
Just a lot of clumsy fouls, a lot of blocking fouls being called on them. Which is difficult. It's hard to get out of the way whenever you're a bit bigger than everybody else on the floor.
And it looks like Sater got poked in the face by Ashcraft.
Personal foul number 22, Ashcraft.
It's 3 on Ashcraft.
And already in the bonus.
Sater shooting 1-1.
So 1-1 now for Edgewood. Nick Jones going to check back in, number 12.
Nick Jones.
It's going to be interesting to see
Ashcraft's
what.
going to go.
Oh, it's going to be interesting to see what Wadsworth does to Coach Wadsworth does to kind of stoke the fire at the end of the quarter here. I'm wondering that'll be interesting to see.
There is Coleman Sater with the bucket. Like the girls, this is a division game, and it's important because they're going to come again fast and furious here in the next couple weeks. You only have 5 teams in the division. You got 4 games. Where you finish is who you play in the crossover. So Kyle Thomas got away with a huge travel, a lot of contact.
There's a lot of stuff wrong with what just happened there.
Parker Harrington fires it up, no good. Rebounded by Kuzman. And now here comes Thomas to Kelly.
And this is wherever you want to see them pass it around. Not just to Kelly and Thomas, but, you know, there's 3 other people on the floor, and you want to see the ball move a little bit.
There's Thomas.
So far, no one. Our first time touching the ball, somebody else.
That was Gill. This is Kuzman. Thomas. And I've noticed most of the time he's come down the floor, it's been Powell defending. So Coach Wadsworth obviously puts a lot of trust in Zeke Powell to just keep a hand in his face, keep him in front of you. Don't let him get any shot. There was a lot of contact there as Kuzman lost it. Here comes Edgewood. Sater gets the bucket.
Lucky no call on that foul there.
Lead is now 13. And then turnover by Cloverdale.
And the big men are just having a hard time tonight for Cloverdale. Really hard time. But the Edgewood players aren't looking encouraged, though. They look still kind of, I mean, you know, you're seeing Farkas come off the floor. He looks dejected almost, and you know, you're having big plays. You're doing well.
Game is not over yet for Edgewood. There's Sater inside. Lead is now 11.
Cloverdale needs something before the end of the half to kind of stop this.
And they're going to call a foul on Logan Slayball, and he's just looking around like.
Personal foul number 24, Slayball.
Now we should see what Cloverdale does here at the end of the quarter.
Minute to go here in quarter number 3. Sam Keto steals it from Kelly.
And he's always looking for that pass. Head up.
Zeke Powell 3. Oh, way off the mark. Gill with the rebound. Now Powell tries to get in front of Thomas. Puts up a shot and he scores.
Basket by Thomas.
I think he loves those off-balance shots.
He likes the off-balance. He does like kind of a double clutch in the lane shot. It seems to be what he wants. All right, Edgewood is wanting to hold it a little bit. Probably do a play. Maybe hold it till the end of the quarter.
About 16 seconds to go. They're going to work it around. Zeke Powell 3 in the corner. It's off the mark. Sater with the board. Put back.
By Sater.
And that will not count as Cloverdale leads Edgewood 50-39. Don't go anywhere. Fourth quarter coming up next on Smithfield Sports.
Whether you need an awesome wrap for your truck, a new look for your sports car, or simply some great window tinting, Van Horn has you covered. Need accessories like step bars, bug shields, or toolboxes? Or how about a neon clock for the garage or den? Van Horn can take care of it. With years of experience, Van Horn gives you the professional look with the quality you deserve. Stop by our shop in Ellettsville, the large building behind McDonald's, or give us a call at 812-876-2230. You can also visit our website at vanhorn1.com. Van Horn Tent and Accessories, the place for your custom vehicle needs.
We are back here at the Mustang Corral as Edgewood trails Cloverdale 50-39. Glad you could join us on Smithville Sports. Alongside Jeremy Nutter, I am Nick Jenkinson. Jeremy, the game's not over yet. Edgewood trails by 11, but that third quarter they outscored Cloverdale 16-13.
Yeah, and we definitely saw it this quarter. This past quarter, the third quarter, was Edgewood's quarter. They definitely control it, even though it was kind of close overall in the scoring. Edgewood definitely, you could feel a resurgence of comeback. Like they controlled the tempo. You know, in the first quarter it was Cloverdale. Second quarter, you know, kind of in between. They both kind of played well, but the gap stayed the same. Now Edgewood were able to close the gap a little bit, and so we'll see kind of what the fourth quarter brings, because they could close the gap even more, make it a close game, or you know, Cloverdale could come back out and go lights out and blow them out here in the last quarter.
So we start the fourth quarter as Edgewood trails by 11. Again, Edgewood North Putnam boys girls doubleheader tomorrow night. We'll have that starting at 6. Logan Slayball inside, can't get it to go, and Gill has control of it. Now Kelly will bring it up. Gets it to Thomas. He gets fouled, will go to the line.
Personal foul, number 24, Slayball.
That's his second.
Thomas shooting 2.
Kyle Thomas at the line. 30 points against Terre Haute South in the opener.
But you know what may help out Cloverdale a lot here is the big men. If the big man can kind of get it together, kind of control that down low, do a better job of controlling the cut lanes to make sure that they aren't as big and aren't as frequently used, I think that could really help out Cloverdale.
Thomas gets that free throw. Farkas, Slayball, Harrington, Sater.
I'm seeing a lot of hesitation with the threes for Edgewood on the side.
Farkas no good. Rebounded Kuzman. Now it is Thomas going to bring it up. Where he doesn't seem like the point guard, but he's been kind of controlling the game.
Him and Kelly, I don't think anybody else really touched the ball, and that's why. I mean, you know, you don't want to say, but at the same time, why pass as much? But at the same time, you kind of need to at certain points, because then you get a little too hot.
Keto, Farkas.
This is a box and one zone.
There's Sater, and he solves it. And Coach Wadworth wants a full timeout.
Taken by the Mustangs. It is a full timeout.
So looking ahead to the schedules for Edgewood, they will, of course, be at home tomorrow night with North Putnam. They then play Terre Haute North next Thursday, December 14th. They are at Bloomfield. That is a game you'd love to be at, because Bloomfield is number 3 in Class 1A, and J.B. Neal is now the coach of Bloomfield, who coached here at Edgewood last year. So that will be a interesting game, to say the least.
Absolutely.
December the 20th at Indian Creek, and then the Wabash Valley Classic is at Terre Haute North on December 26th. The draw was took place this week. Edgewood will start the tournament, the first game of the day, at 10 a.m. against Terre Haute North. So they got to play each other twice in the next couple weeks. Then it's Robinson, Illinois, and South Vermillion. So Edgewood will play one of those two teams in the next round. Sullivan versus Marshall, Illinois. Northview versus Park Heritage. Terre Haute South versus Riverton Park. Cloverdale will play Casey Westfield out of Illinois. Shakamak will play Linton. Linton #1 in Class 2A. And then Owen Valley versus West Vigo. That tournament will be the 26th, 27th, and 28th, and the 30th at Terre Haute North. That is one of the better holiday tournaments in my opinion, in the state of Indiana. You got the first game of the day at 10 a.m. and they run all day, and the last game starts about 8:30. So you got 12 hours of nothing but basketball. So it's hog heaven.
Exactly. Yeah.
For people like me, you know, people like me who just want to just watch games all day.
Exactly.
And it's 3 straight days of it. And then the 4th day you got 4 games. So it is it's a smorgasbord of basketball during the Christmas season. Nolan Kelly gets that one to go as it's 55-41.
And now we're seeing the opposite, where Cloverdale's playing back in the zone. Edgewood's playing more man in a full court. And so it basically flipped from the first quarter.
Kyle Thomas, 55-41, 14 points. Kelly gonna go deep, no good, and they're gonna call a over the back on Edgewood.
See, but that's wherever I think you want to see Thomas pass.
Personal foul, number 24.
I really think that's where you want to see him pass. You don't want to see him need to dribble through 4 guys, because he doesn't need to. Because if he has to dribble through 4 guys, that means 4 guys or 3 guys are open, you know. So, as another foul is called.
Another foul on Edgewood.
Yeah, you just want to see that pass. You just want to see a pass there.
Personal foul,
Because that could open up,
12,
you know, easy give go, different things like that.
Substitution.
Not hard at all.
Number 40, Harrington, replacing Slayball.
Parker Harrington in replacing Slayball. That's a jump ball possession error.
A lot of quick
Edgewood.
jump balls tonight.
Yeah, very quick. They don't waste their time tonight, that's for sure.
No.
(55-41) Edgewood. Derek Farkas. Jason Utley.
Now see if the big man can control that middle.
There is Sater inside. He gets fouled.
Personal foul, number 12, 22 correction, Ashcraft. Sater shoot 2.
Sater will be at the line. Cloverdale opens their home schedule tomorrow night against Southmont. So neither team has a lot of time to really process this game. They got a quick turnaround. That's the kind of joy of the high school basketball season, the Friday and Saturday night back-to-backs.
And that's fun for the guys, because I know whenever you're in high school, you're playing varsity. I mean, at the end of the day, you just want to play basketball.
Well, and the girls too tomorrow night, since they got to play as well. So you get to enjoy it for a little bit, and then it's back to work tomorrow morning. Utley gets no call there. Again, lead is 12. Now Sater draws the assignment of Kyle Thomas. And now it's going to be Sam Keto with the foul on Ashcraft.
And that's good. You know, Kyle Thomas, Kelly starting to share the ball a little more. That's good to see, because, I mean, you want that. You want to be able to spread it out, not for points' sake, but for, you know, just the sake of not being under pressure all the time, you know.
So Ashcraft hits the shot. And he misses that one. going to be on Ashcraft, and he has fouled out
Personal foul.
with 4 points. So Nick Jones is going to come back in.
And it's another 1-on-1.
As you see, Matt Wadsworth, first year at the school, comes over from Whiteland. We, of course, saw Whiteland a couple years ago. They played at Bloomington North. They were able to beat the Cougars that day by 15 points.
Yeah, Coach Wadsworth called like a timeout kind of deal there on the transition to that. Very interesting.
As Farkas with the free throw, lead is still 12. He gets that one to go. Edgewood just can't really get over this hump. They try to get it close, and then Cloverdale just answers back.
Yeah, that's the thing. Cloverdale, that's all they need to do, too. They don't need to do anything more.
Thomas loses it. And here's Edgewood getting a chance to answer. Approaching 4 minutes to go, down 11. Sater, Harrington in the corner, no good. Tapped around. Kelly, and he gets caught, and he misses it, but he's going to go to the line.
And that's what Cloverdale need to do right now. They need to be able to answer what Edgewood is doing. Because right now, Edgewood has a leg up. They're playing better. They're doing better. Playing more intense defense. They're converting more on offense. And all Cloverdale needs to do, they don't need to freak out. They have 11 points, 13 after if they make these 2 free throws. And, you know, they just need to answer. That's all they need to do. Nothing more, nothing less. Just answer them, and they'll be just fine.
Kelly with the free throw. Gets that to go. 58-45. There is.
Seeing a little more intensity with Edgewood on offense. It's just because, you know, remember you had 13 down. That much
There
time
is
left.
Powell, shots no good. Thomas with the rebound. I mean, he wants to bring it up every chance he can have. He wants the ball in his hands all the time.
And this is whenever you just want him to pass the ball. He doesn't need to out-dribble 4 people. You know, you just want him to pass the ball. If you're double teamed, someone else is open. That's the rule of thumb right there. So you don't need to be a hero. Find the open man, like right there.
Farkas deflects it, but it is Cloverdale ball. Coach Rady's trying to signal a timeout. And it's actually going to be overturned. It's going to be Edgewood ball.
There may have been a deflection there. All right, play 5. What defensive play is this going to be from Cloverdale?
There is Sam Keto. 2:45 to go. If you're Edgewood, you can't have an empty possession here.
And you also just got to shoot. You got to be able to find the open plays.
There was a dangerous play. Sater does draw contact, will go to the line.
And again, the big man got caught with that blocking foul.
That is 4 on Gill. So Sater at the line.
But, you know, he makes this, but at the same time, you're down by 12 still. You know, and that's, sure, you make a free throw, you know, you do stuff good like this, but with the frequency and the rate, right now that Edgewood's getting points, they're not going to be able to come back.
Sater at the lead is still 11. Kelly in and out. Nick Jones, the offensive rebound and put back.
Basket by Jones.
And that may have done it. Parker Harrington with the layup. Coach Wadsworth wants a timeout. Coach.
Timeout taken by Edgewood. It is a full timeout.
Full timeout by Edgewood. Well, looking for Cloverdale's schedule, they are hosting Southmont. Then they have Eminence at Indian Creek, South Putnam, Brown County, Greencastle, and then, of course, we talked about the Wabash Valley Classic. It's looking at the top teams in each class. In the boys, Lawrence Central is number 1 in 4A, Bloomington South number 2. Silver Creek is number 1 in 3A. They will play at Bloomington North in January. Linton is 2A, number 1. Gary 21st Century is number 1 in 1A. Bloomfield's number 3. Top teams in the girls in 4A Northwestern with 2 Big Ten recruits. Gibson Southern 3A, Triton Central number 1 in 2A. Linton is 7th in 2A, and then Lagodi is number 1 in 1A, and they've got a big matchup tomorrow when they play Columbus East. So 4A against 1A tomorrow. Columbus East travels to Lagodi in girls basketball. That will be quite a match, quite a different story with the big dogs and the little ones.
That reminds me, one time I went to a small high school in Indianapolis, and I remember they played a person by the name of Trey Lyles, who was going to go to Kentucky that next year. And yeah, you play hard, you try hard, but those bigger schools, they feed them something different, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I was at that Edgewood Bloomington South game, and Edgewood played really hard. But they were just out.
Sometimes, you can play hard and stuff, but the other team's just better.
Yeah. As Cloverdale just trying to play keep away at this point. Kelly, and again another foul on Edgewood.
And if you play that type of defense, that's what's going to happen. You just can't be silly with stuff like that. You have to be really exact and precise, because if you do stuff like that, the fouls are going to happen, bad things are going to happen. You're not going to get what you want.
Substitution number 24.
Logan Slayball at the line. So if you're Coach Wadsworth and you've got, you're Coach Wadsworth, you've got North Putnam tomorrow night, what do you tell your team? Well,
after a loss like this.
After a loss tonight,
if they do lose, which is looking the case, you just got to say, just got to be able to reaffirm the way of basketball that y'all have been playing. You just want to say, we play our way of basketball. Sure, we had missed opportunities, missed shots. We got into the game late, but whenever we were playing our brand of basketball, we were the team on top. We were the best team. And so that's what you got to tell your team, is that, whenever we're playing at our best, whenever we're playing the basketball that we want to play, that's how it is. That's what we're doing. And so it just needs to be a reassurance and saying, we're playing the basketball that we're playing. And that's not going to change because of a loss or anything. No one needs to freak out.
So Mark Gill at the line for Cloverdale. He misses that free throw. 1:20 to go, 61-49. Edgewood will drop to 1-2. Cloverdale is going to go to 1-1. But most importantly for Cloverdale, 1-0 in the WIC East. For Edgewood, 0-1. Both teams back at it tomorrow night. Parker Harrington with the 3.
Basket by Harrington.
And there's a foul. That's on Kelly.
And we're in a double bonus.
Cam Curtis going to check in.
Both teams with 10 fouls. This is quite. That's the thing. Whenever you play defense like that, that's going to happen. You're going to foul. But you're both at 10 fouls. I don't think the scoreboard's going to go much higher because that's a lot of fouls.
Farkas to shoot 2.
But that's just gonna be how it is. Just gotta be smarter.
Now the free throw parade.
Yeah, strap in, folks. This one could be a while.
As Farkas is gonna hit the free throw. Played on the football team this year. As a wide receiver, also like Parker Harrington. Now a turnover by Cloverdale. It's Edgewood ball. Lead is cut to 8. Harrington comes in, Curtis goes out.
And if you thought maybe they're not going to foul if they get a 10-point lead, well, this changed everything because they'll probably end up getting fouled here on this possession, and that's going to be how it is the rest of the game. As you see, three people just
miss it. Under a minute to go. And now Edgewood will.
Timeout taken by Cloverdale.
And now Cloverdale actually called a timeout.
I think that's smart. I think that's smart from his from a coaching perspective because you're able to kind of settle down the team. Everybody's really antsy right now, down by 8. You have 10. You have double bonus either way. You know, just say, you know, we're gonna keep the ball, we're gonna move it, we're gonna do that. You know, keep away formation, kind of a spread 5, and just do your thing. And then Kyle take a 3-pointer from the logo.
So we got 53.6 to go. Edgewood down by 8, 62 to 54. Of course, the Edgewood Pep Band provides the soundtrack for all the Edgewood home games. So when they play, it gets a little loud in here. So it's always hard to. Sometimes it's hard to hear what you know. It's hard to think.
It's hard to think. That is true.
It's hard. It's hard to think. So Cloverdale will have the ball as Kuzman's going to inbound it.
And we'll see how Cloverdale responds. And foul number 11 for Edgewood. If the scoreboard can go that high.
Oh, they just stop them at 10 because it's 2 fouls from here on out. So.
That's true. No point. If you're keeping track at home, you can write that down for yourself.
So Nolan Kelly at the line, misses that one.
And these are important too, just for Cloverdale's mentality. You know, you're gonna get these.
So one more for Kelly, and it is good. Lead is 9. And again, Edgewood, you got to start putting up shots.
And if you're Cloverdale, you do not want to
Harrington
foul.
deep.
Basket by Harrington.
Now it's a foul on Edgewood. Parker Harrington cuts this lead to 6.
Edgewood foul, number 14, Farkas.
And that is his 3rd. So Kuzman at the line, like you said, it's important for Cloverdale to just keep hitting their free throws.
Yeah, if you keep hitting the free throws, it doesn't matter. You can foul all day, but you just got to make those free throws. Be confident as you see a miss.
And that was short for Kuzman, one more.
But now you just got to make those free throws. I mean, it's really going to count on the defensive end of the court. Really got to play good defense.
And he misses both. 2-possession game, 29 seconds to go, but Edgewood's got to shoot.
Got to play really good defense.
Harrington, no good. Kyle Thomas against Farkas, and they're going to call Farkas for the foul.
I think some cries for flagrant right there.
Personal foul, number 14,
So they're going to put Kyle Thomas at the line.
Now Kyle Thomas has to make this.
And he doesn't.
He doesn't. Remember, Reggie Miller scored a lot more points in, 9 seconds?
With 8 points in 9 seconds, I think,
like
was
that.
The famous Thomas hits that one.
But that's an important shot because that makes it a 3-possession game now. If they don't foul on a 3-pointer, all Cloverdale has to do is not foul.
Slay ball short. Now another foul.
And at this point, I think Edgewood kind of knows.
This will do it now.
I think Edgewood knows that this is it.
Personal foul, number 4, Powell.
If you're counting at home, I've lost count, so keep track for me.
Kuzman to shoot.
It's too.
It's a bunch.
It's a lot of fouls. It's a bunch in this quarter too. So
there's about as many fouls as points now.
Kuzman at the line. He hits that one. So Edgewood going to fall at home here. North Putt tomorrow night. We'll have that one for you starting at 6, boys and girls doubleheader. This is going to be, Edgewood's got to get it in. Farkas going to just throw it up, no good. And now they're just going to let it dribble out. And Cloverdale wins 66-57. We look at the highlights. A lot of Nolan Kelly for 3. And Derek Farkas scores for Edgewood. Nice pass inside. Coleman Sater really came to life in that second half. Parker Harrington, nice point. Sater getting the finish. Sater, the workhorse on this team. There's Harrington showing the range for 3.
And it really was Edgewood this half that really sprang to life.
As our final score, Cloverdale 66, Edgewood 57. For all the hardworking women and men behind the scenes, for my partner Jeremy Nutter, I am Nick Jenkinson. We thank you for watching.
Final score.
And good night from Ellettsville.
Kyle Thomas